Imagine this. The sun is streaming into your quiet living room. 3 cats are lounging like royalty, relaxed, unbothered, untouchable. And then, click. The vacuum roars to life. And in that moment, peace shatters. To the humans, it's just cleaning day. But to the cats, it's war. A monster has invaded their kingdom. Each of them reacts in a way that reveals who they truly are. If you've ever had a pet who treats the vacuum like their sworn enemy, hit that like button. And subscribe for more wild, true stories that show just how dramatic and relatable our pets can be. Because today, you're about to witness a battle of courage, fear, pride, and maybe a little revenge. The living room was calm. Luna, the regal gray tabby, sat like a queen on her windowsill throne, surveying her domain. Milo, the fluffy orange giant, had claimed the couch as if it were his personal stage. And Bella, the baby of the trio, lay, curled up on the rug, her tiny tail twitching as she dreamed. For a moment, the house was a temple of peace. Then came that sound. The sharp click of a switch, followed by the monstrous roar of the vacuum. Luna's eyes snapped open. Her tail puffed to the size of a bottle brush. She launched off her perch with Olympic level precision, vanishing behind the curtains. From her hidden post, only her glowing eyes peeked through, glaring at the intruder like she was plotting its assassination. Milo froze in place, his orange fur bristling as though a lightning bolt had struck him. For 1/10 second, he just stared wide-eyed, betrayed at the humans who dared summon this beast. Then, in an explosion of fur and panic, he launched himself off the couch, skidding across the hardwood like an action hero diving for cover. And then there was Bella. Sweet, tiny Bella who had never seen the vacuum before. She blinked sleepily, tilted her head, and mewed. Instead of fear, her eyes lit up with curiosity. She padded toward the growling machine like a rookie soldier, stepping onto the battlefield for the first time. The vacuum growled louder, advancing. Bella crouched low, her whiskers quivering. She batted at the cord like it was a snake. But when the suction nozzle lunged near her paw, she jumped 3 feet in the air, squeaking as she zoomed under the sofa at lightning speed. Meanwhile, the battle lines were drawn. Luna, the queen in exile, glared from behind the curtains, her tail swishing in pure indignation. Milo clung to the top of a bookshelf, glaring down like a general who refused to surrender, and Bella's glowing eyes shone from beneath the sofa, one paw poking out every few seconds to test the air like a daring spy. The vacuum roared on, oblivious to the chaos it caused. To the humans, this was just cleaning. To the cats, this was apocalypse. And then silence. The humans flicked the switch off. The monster was rolled into its closet prison. The door clicked shut. For Luna, Milo, and Bella, that sound was not just relief, it was victory. Luna strutted back to her perch, pretending she had never panicked. Her pride demanded dignity. Milo groomed his fur nervously, trying to hide how rattled he was, but his puffed-up tail gave him away. And Bella. She emerged bouncing, tail high, ready to challenge the beast again. But here's where things took a turn. That evening, when the humans went upstairs, the cats gathered in the living room like survivors of a great war. Luna sprawled across the rug, reclaiming her throne. Milo stationed himself near the closet door, still suspicious, eyes unblinking. And Bella. She sat proudly in front of the closet, tail flicking, daring the monster to return. Luna's glare said, "Are you insane?" Milo hissed from above. "Don't tempt fate," but Bella didn't care. For her, this wasn't fear, it was a challenge. Night settled in. Moonlight stretched long shadows across the floor. The house was too quiet. Luna, ever the strategist, perched by the window, pretending to be calm, but never taking her eyes off the closet. Milo had chosen the armrest of the couch, tail twitching, heart pounding. He was ready to sound the alarm if the beast dared return. And Bella, she crept toward the door, belly low, paws silent. She pressed her nose to the crack. Nothing. Tap, tap. Her tiny paw rapped the wood, summoning her enemy. Oh. She called, voice sharp and fearless. Luna's ears flattened. Milo growled low, his warning clear. But Bella didn't stop. She pawed harder, bouncing around like she was calling the beast out for round 2, and then thud. The closet door shifted slightly, rattled by something the humans had stacked earlier. To Bella, that was proof. The beast had answered. She shot back in a dramatic somersault, fur puffing out like a hedgehog. Luna abandoned her queenly act and darted under the table, all dignity forgotten. Milo yowled like a warrior and scrambled up the curtains, clinging desperately as the fabric sagged under his weight. But then nothing. The door didn't open. The beast didn't come out. Silence. Bella blinked. Slowly, her fur settled. She chirped a small Mr. RP, shrugged it off, and pranced back to the rug like nothing had happened. Luna crawled out from under the table, pretending she had been inspecting it. Milo fell from the curtains with a heavy thud, shaking the lamp as he landed. And the three of them sat together, staring at the door like it was a sleeping dragon. Because they knew one thing for certain. This wasn't over. Tomorrow, or the next day, the humans would unleash the beast again. But when that day came, each cat would be ready. Luna, the regal queen, who demanded dignity. Milo, the dramatic guardian who wore his fear openly. And Bella, the fearless little warrior who saw danger not as terror, but as a challenge. The vacuum wasn't just an appliance. It was their ultimate enemy, the villain that always returned. And here's the best part. In their minds, the cats weren't victims. They were warriors. Every time the humans locked the vacuum away, they didn't see it as cleaning day is over. They saw it as victory. They believed their vigilance and courage had defeated the beast. Luna strutted with pride. Milo watched with wary determination. And Bella, she sat by that closet door, tail flicking, waiting for the rematch. For them, revenge wasn't a single act. It was ongoing. Every time the vacuum was banished, they had one. Every time it roared back to life, the fight would begin again. And one thing was certain. In this household, the vacuum cleaner might make the noise, but the cats, they made the rules. Maybe that's the lesson here. Sometimes our biggest fears aren't tea monsters at all, they read just vacuums. But what matters is how we face them. With fear, with caution, or with bold curiosity. If this story gave you a laugh, or reminded you of your own pet-s battles with the vacuum smash, that like button, tell us in the comments. How does your pet react when the beast comes out? And Dan T, forget to subscribe for more emotionally charged stories that prove our pets see the world in ways we never imagine. Because in their kingdom, even the vacuum cleaner is a villain.